I'm Gaz, and this is Let's Play Zork, the Great Underground Empire. This is a classic text-based adventure game, and as such, there's nothing to look at except text. However, I have acquired several images from an old browser game called The Legends of Zork, which I played long ago, and so I will be trying to edit those in where appropriate. I will also be adding in some background music that would otherwise not be in the game. This is a rather old game. I'm also not super well versed in the game, however, this is the GOG.com version, which comes with a plethora of manuals and hint books and other goodies that I might be able to edit in to the videos. Let's go ahead and get started. We begin west of a house. You are standing in an open field west of a white house with a boarded front door. There's a small mailbox here. Open the mailbox. We begin the game by committing a felony. Opening the small mailbox reveals a leaflet. Take leaflet. Actually, let's read leaflet, and that should take it automatically. Yes, it does. Okay, so the reason I did that is because taking the leaflet and then reading the leaflet would be two actions, whereas what I just did by reading the leaflet automatically takes it, and I got two actions in one go. And if you'll notice there at the top, we've got the location, our score for doing various things, and then a number of moves. So rather than having to take 3 moves, I've now narrowed this down to 2. I will not be trying to do the most optimal play, but the reason moves are important in this game is because despite how simplistic it appears, there's a little bit of randomness going on, and some things, as I understand, may trigger over time. And so the more time you spend doing things, in other words, the more moves you take, it can kind of progress things along. Anyway, welcome to Zork. Zork is a game of adventure, danger, and low cunning. In it, you will explore some of the most amazing territory ever seen by mortals. No computer should be without one. Okay, let's look at house. The house is a beautiful colonial house, which is painted white. It is clear the owners must have been extremely wealthy. Okay, so it's to the east of us. Let's go east. The door is boarded, and you can't remove the boards. Okay, let's go south. South of the house. You are facing the south side of a white house. There is no door here, and all windows are boarded. Go east. Behind the house. You are behind the white house. A path leads into the forest to the east. In one corner of the house, there is a small window, which is slightly ajar. Open window. Let's compound the felony with breaking and entering. With great effort, you open the window far enough to allow entry. Look into window. You can see what appears to be a kitchen. Enter window. Kitchen. You are in the kitchen of the White House. A table seems to have been used recently for the preparation of food. A passage leads to the west, and a dark staircase can be seen leading upward. A dark chimney leads down, and to the east is a small window which is open. On the table is an elongated brown sack, smelling of hot peppers. A bottle is sitting on the table. The glass bottle contains a quantity of water. Let's open the sack. Opening the brown sack reveals a lunch and a clove of garlic. Okay, so it is tempting to just gather everything up, as one typically does in adventure games. However, another hidden mechanic of the game is encumbrance. If you weigh too much, you can't do certain things. So for right now, we're just going to leave that stuff on the table, and let's go up the stairs. You have moved into a dark place. It is pitch black. You are likely to be eaten by a grue. The infamous Zork grue. Let's go back down. Okay, and then let's go into the west room. Into the living room. You are in the living room. There is a doorway to the east, a door with strange Gothic lettering to the west, which appears to be nailed shut, a trophy case, and a large oriental rug in the center of the room. Above the trophy case hangs an elvish sword of great antiquity. A battery-powered brass lantern is on the trophy case. Well, we're going to read the lettering. The engraving translates to "This space intentionally left blank." Fair enough. Let's examine the sword. There's nothing special about the sword. This is not true. We're going to leave that there for a minute, but we are going to take the lantern. Okay. And then we're going to examine the rug. There's nothing special about the carpet. This is also untrue. Move the rug. With a great effort, the rug is moved to one side of the room, revealing the dusty cover of a closed trapdoor. Open trap door. The door reluctantly opens to reveal a rickety staircase descending into darkness. We are going to save. And then we're going to turn on lantern. And then we're going to go down. We are now in the cellar. The trapdoor crashes shut, and you hear someone barring it. You are in a dark and damp cellar with a narrow passageway leading north and a crawlway to the south. On the west is the bottom of a steep metal ramp, which is unclimbable. We're going to go south, east of a chasm. You are on the east edge of a chasm, the bottom of which cannot be seen. A narrow passage goes north, and the path you are on continues to the east. We will go east. A gallery. This is an art gallery. Most of the paintings have been stolen by vandals with exceptional taste. The vandals left through either the north or west exits. Fortunately, there is still one chance for you to be a vandal, for on the far wall is a painting of unparalleled beauty. Examine the painting. There's nothing special about it. Alright, well, we'll take the painting then, as is suggested. Let's continue the crime spree. And now we shall go north, the only place we have not yet been. A studio. This appears to have been an artist's studio. The walls and floors are splattered with paints of 69 different colors. Nice. Strangely enough, nothing of value is hanging here. At the south end of the room is an open door, also covered with paint. A dark and narrow chimney leads up from a fireplace. Although you might be able to get up it, it seems unlikely you could get back down. Which is weird. The kitchen, which is currently above us, also had a chimney. So, let's see, loosely attached to a wall is a small piece of paper. Read the paper. Taken. Congratulations, you are the privileged owner of Zork, the great underground empire, a self-contained and self-maintaining universe. If used and maintained in accordance with normal operating practices for small universes, Zork will provide many months of trouble-free operation. Okay, let's examine the chimney. Chimney leads upward and looks climbable. Climb chimney. You can't get up there with what you're carrying. What are we carrying? Not a hell of a lot. So let's drop the leaflet, and we will drop the manual, which is the paper that we just picked up. And now let's try climbing the chimney. There we go. We're now back in the kitchen, and presumably back in the house with whoever locked the trapdoor on us. Alright, so we're back in the kitchen, and we're still going to leave the food on the table, but now I'm going to go up, since I now have a lantern, and the attic. This is the attic. The only exit is a stairway leading down. A large coil of rope is lying in the corner. On a table is a nasty-looking knife. Let's take the rope, and we'll take a knife. And now we'll go down. And let's go west. Back into the living room. Above the trophy case hangs an elvish sword of great antiquity. Okay, so interesting thing to note is that items are perpetual, so if we say just drop the knife here, it should stay here. Take the sword, and I'm going to examine the trophy case. Trophy case is empty. Open the case. Place painting in case. Close the case. Okay. Now if I examine the room, how about search living room. Look around. You are in the living room. At your feet there's a nasty knife, and a collection of treasures consists of a painting. Okay. So the whole point of the game is, for whatever reason, to collect a bunch of treasures to fill this treasure case full again. And so we're going to have to go around, try and find them, and keep bringing them back here. With the inventory capacity limitation, you can imagine that can be kind of fun. But that painting wasn't too difficult, so now we're ready to actually go explore the underground. And before we do, I think I'm going to end this episode with a reading from the great Underground Empire, A History by Farbaz Mumbar. So Chapter 1, The Bellicose King. In 659 GUE, or the Great Underground Empire, adding GUE after a year did not become common practice until the latter part of the 8th century, the king of Kendor, or Quendor, was relatively small, encompassing 7.5 provinces on the western shore of the Great Sea, an agrarian land whose major products were rope and mosquito netting. It was the 31st year of the reign of Zilbil III, part of a dynasty dating back more than 6 centuries to Entharion the Wise, the first king of Kendor, or Quendor. However, that dynasty was about to end with the ascension of Duncanthrax to the throne of Kendor, or Quendor, on the final day of 659. Little is known about what became of Zilbo after 659. Some say he was killed during a palace revolt, or simply died from too much reveling while celebrating the upcoming New Year. There is evidence that he was exiled to a villa where he invented the card game Double Finucci. Likewise, historians disagree about Duncanthrax's life prior to 659. A petition signed by palace guards in 657 asking for an increase in the mosquito netting allotment bears a signature that looks suspiciously like Duncanthrax. Some historians insist that Duncanthrax was general of the royal militia. One legend even suggests that Duncanthrax was a demon who assumed human form. Another legend describes him as a former rope salesman. Whatever his origins, Duncanthrax quickly developed a reputation for cruelty, bloodthirstiness, and aggressiveness, thus earning himself the nickname the Bellicose King. He raised a tremendous army and began a systematic conquest of the neighboring kingdoms. Within 3 years, Duncanthrax ruled an empire that controlled virtually all the land between the Great Sea and the Cavalli Desert. And with that, I will end this one here, and I will see you next time.